For coming on the screen today again. We are continuing with our working on PowerShell. So the last video we tried to look at the get command to understand the teams we have. We see how we can find out the users of a team, and then we also went on to see how we could export the members of a team with running the no type information and without the no type information. So if you did not watch that one, you may want to check it out also. So the series is all about how to use PowerShell in Microsoft Teams, or managing Microsoft Teams using PowerShell. So just so everything is again clean, I'm going to delete all of these ones, but remember that I will be attaching all the commands to the description in this video. So the set of commands that we are going to run in this video, I am going to copy it and bring it here so that you can see what we have to run on this particular video. So let us start by looking at this command. So in Teams, you have the new command, and then you have the add command, and you have the remove command, and then the set command. These are the commands that we will be running here at this time. So the new command or new team command that we are going to be running here is for us to create a team in Teams, right? So first off, we are going to create a team that we are going to call PowerShell, okay, just so the name is distinct from what I used to, or we used to have in the tenant, and it's going to not be listed among, it is going to be like a new team which was not listed among the teams that we pulled out in the last videos. So new team display name is going to be the team name, and then the description is going to be the description here, and so on. And then you speak about the visibility, either private or public team. So I'm just going to press this, to enter these ones, and then come back here, and then the team that we want to create now, the name is going to be PowerShell team. PowerShell team. I'm just going to do it that way, and then the description, I will just say this was for YouTube demo. This was for a YouTube demo, okay, for a YouTube demo. And the visibility, I want to keep it private. So remember that if we do get -team, then we would see the list of the team that we have in the tenant, right? So let's just run this first. So we're going to do this, so click on this, and then that team is getting created, right? So it's just loading by the background, and then the team should be created in a bit. So I'm just trying to open this other side, but then let's concentrate here first and see how this goes. So before that would even come up, we could also click on here to just bring this command that we are going to use to get the list of the team while we are here. So the team is created now, and the name is PowerShell team. Is a private team and it's not archived, obviously, and this is the nickname that was automatically given to it, and this is the description. So it means that if we run the get team, this one, then what we would expect to happen now is it is going to be listed among the number of teams that we have in the tenant. So where are you, PowerShell? So where are you? Let's see, it's this. So it's not listed among here yet, but then let's come back to the GUI just so we can check if that is available. So I'll minimize this, and then I would refresh here. This is the GUI, and then I will search for that team here and see if it is already written here as a team in the tenant. So this is me just trying to refresh the Teams Administrative Center just so we can check if the team that we created from PowerShell is now showing up here. So I think we call it PowerShell. So let's just click on that, and of course it's already here as a private team. So if we click on here and then we check further, then you're going to see that I have Joseph as the owner of the team because he created the team. Okay, so let's come back here. I'm not sure why that wasn't listed among the team here, or is it that I couldn't see it? I just want to run it once again, and if it doesn't come up now, we'll just leave it and move on to the next things that we'll have to do, because this is not one of our focus. We're able to create it from here and we got to see it from the GUI. So let's just clear this and then let's move on. So we've been able to create a team, and of course the description of that team is showing that it was created. This was look at it, this was a demo for YouTube, or this was a YouTube demo, which is exactly what we use as the description from the PowerShell here. So we could create team from PowerShell. Now, how do you add users to PowerShell, to team with PowerShell? So that's the next thing we want to do. So I'm just going to do this enter here, just so we can have this. And the command to add a user to a team from PowerShell is add-team user. So I'm just going to do this, and then I will do enter here so that we can follow an example saying add-team user, then the group ID of the team, and then followed by what now? Followed by the display name of the user that you want to add to that team. So let us come back to this environment, and then looking at this team itself, looking at the PowerShell that we created, we can decide to add member to the team from here, and then or we can decide to add member from the PowerShell admin center, the PowerShell environment. So I want to add this user to a team, but before then I just want to get the user's UPN, and then let's take that UPN to the PowerShell command and then try to add the user to a team, right? So this is coming up, and this is this user's email address. So let us come back to the PowerShell and then what we'll do is let's try to run get teams again. Okay, before then let's just replace this user with another name. The user we just created now, but we just copy the details now. And then the next thing we want to do is for us to get the team that we want to add this user to get the group ID of that team. So let's just quickly run this and let's see the teams that we have again, and see the team that we are going to be adding this user to, so that we can copy the I think I was the one looking at the wrong place. So I was looking at the nickname. I'm sure you would have seen this before me. So this is the PowerShell team that we created. So we're just going to copy the group ID of PowerShell. So this is display name I was supposed to be looking at, not in the nickname here. So, right, so I'll just copy this, highlight this, right click on it, and then I will do copy. Then what I want to do is to come to this line 11 and then replace the group ID with this, and then let us paste here. And just to be sure, let's come back to the GUI and confirm that the team that we are talking about at this time has only one user, which is an owner, and the owner is Joseph because he is the one who created the team. Okay, so having done that, we'll come here and then we click on this, and then the next thing we do is for us to hit on this what's it called, the run script icon. So we'll run this electron, and then the next thing is it will run successfully. So what we will do is, if we go back to get team user of this particular team, we'll have that user pillars listed among, but we're just going to run like a refresh here and see what happens now. If we are going to have not there, we are going to run the refresh here in the teams admin center, and let's see if that user is going to jump in now, right? So I will expect that user should jump in as soon as this refresh is completed. So let's just wait for it to refresh fully, and then we should have that user here. Okay, cool. So that user is already here and is added as a member. So let's quickly run back to the to the PowerShell environment. So before we move on, right, so we just want to first of all run CLS just so we can clear this slate. And don't get it twisted, this place we've gotten here already, and then maybe I want to delete all these just to keep this place clean. But before I do that, I want to take note of the group ID. Just so this is not too much, I'm just going to remove these lines, and then I think we should be able to manage with the remaining things we have on the screen. So having said that, the next thing we want to do is for us to remove a user from team. So how do you delete a user from team using PowerShell? So the way you do that is, first of all, you have to take note of the group ID, and then so what you do is you say remove -team user group ID, you put the group ID, then the user name, you put it here. So now I want us to remove this user here. So what we'll do is, let's put that group ID here where we want to remove the user, and the user we want to remove is Joseph, who is an owner of the team. I will expect this command to fail. The reason is because we would see what it will say. Let's just run it. Then I will expect it to fail, obviously. What is it saying? It says last owner cannot be removed from a team. So what happens if we want to remove this guy who we just added to the team? Of course, we can also put it here and then do this, because he's a member and not an owner. So the only way this previous command could work for us is if we would promote this user to become an owner, then we can remove Joseph from that team, right? Okay, so let's run this command. So what this is going to do is going to remove the user from the team for us. So yes, so if we come back to the Teams Admin Center here and do a refresh, so what is going to happen is that this user, this second user here, Pillars, is going to be removed from the team, because a command has been run from the PowerShell end, which is to remove user from the team that we have looked at. So let's just see what happens, and then if we scroll down, then of course that user should be out of this place. I hope you are finding this interesting. So just so we can move on, we are going to clear our slate again. So by coming here to clean this slate up, and then we are just here to say remove user, right? So let's quickly scroll down, and then the next thing we want to do is that set team group ID, display name, the name of the team. So what is this going to do for us? It's going to help us update the display name of the team, and even the description at this point, right? So what we want to do is, already we know that this team is actually PowerShell. That is the name it is bearing. So just to confirm, you see the name here, PowerShell team, right? So now when we come back to this place, we want to change the name of this team to become another team, right? So what we will do is we bring up the set -team ID group ID, and then this would help us change the description. So we are resetting or setting the display name of the team. So what the name we want to give to it now, if it is a singular word, so you don't need to put it in double quotation or in quotes. Then if it is a compound, a sentence that you want to use to give it a description, or more than one word, you have to put in this quotation mark for you to state what name you want to give to it. So I just want to give it PowerShell updated, right? Updated. So I just want to do it that way. So the description, we may just say this was updated during, we can just say this was updated during a YouTube video shoot, maybe something like that. So if we do this, so what we want to do now is, set teams group ID and all of those have been put in place. So the next thing we do is to run this selection. So what happens now is that the name of the theme has been changed to PowerShell updated. It is still a private theme and it is archived, and then all of these are still there, and the description has also changed. Now let's come back to the admin center, and when we refresh this, we're expecting this to change. We're expecting this to change as well. So let's just do a refresh and then let's see what happens thereafter. So it's just trying to do a refresh. Of course, when this comes up, you know, that is one of the sweet things about PowerShell. It does not take time to communicate with the GUI. In short, most of the changes that you would have struggled to make while in the GUI, you can do that from the PowerShell very quickly. Of course, you can see that this is showing PowerShell updated, and then it is showing that this was updated during a YouTube video shoot. You can see it's still showing PowerShell theme, that is PT here, right? So this can be an issue somehow, but if you wait after a while, then this should also change to reflect PU instead of PT. So this is just the description we gave it that says that this was updated during a YouTube video shoot. So you can see how the handshake is very, very fast. So that is to speak to this. So now you look at that theme, right? It is a private theme. Perhaps you want to turn it or change it to a public theme. Okay, so what you can do is to also do set. So when you do the set, what you do is you change the visibility by bringing this word here to state what you actually meant. So what do? You bring up the group ID, right? When you bring the group ID, you the set -theme group ID, you just replace the group ID here. You can Ctrl V here, and then visibility, you want to change it from this, which is change it from private to being a public theme. So if you look at it from here, it's showing private here, just so you take note of this. So when we come back to themes here, and then where's our command, and we are running this command, take note of what is going to change when we hit on run. So it is now saying that this is visibility is now public, and then archive state and all of these are still intact. So if we come back to the Teams admin center and we refresh this, so we're expecting that this would now change the visibility or the privacy of this theme to become public. Can you see this changing just immediately? So coming back to the PowerShell command, also we can maybe come here now if we want to again delete the theme, that we don't want to have it again. So what we do is you do remove -theme. So that time you are going to put the group ID to replace here. Just copy this group ID and then replace the whole of this with it, and then what happens now is the theme is going to be deleted. So let's just run this command, and then that theme is going to be deleted. So what this means is that this theme that you have here now is deleted. So what is going to be the implication? If I refresh here now, it is supposed to give me an error because the theme is no longer in existence. So I hope you are able to follow through with what I have been able to demonstrate regarding the handshake between the PowerShell commands and the GUI. So if you like what you've seen, you may want to give it a like, and if you've not subscribed to this channel, you may have to do that, because subscribing to this channel is very, very important to keep me committed to bringing out content like this that are going to be very useful to you. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Cheers.